Viewers, you must be wondering why Times Now keeps telling you at the top of India Upfront every night that we are turning the curve in the battle against Corona. When you look at the numbers, we're almost touching the 50,000 mark. In fact, in the next 24 hours, we should either be very close to it or we should have got to it. That's because we just added 3,875 cases today, and we are just 3,289 short of the 50,000 mark. So you do the maths, viewers, and by overnight, we should be there. So how is it that we keep telling you, the government keeps telling you, epidemiologists keep telling you, or at least a section of them, that we are winning this war? That's the question that the Congress party and other opposition parties are also asking of the government. They're saying, you keep telling us that the curve is flattening, but here the cases keep going up. This is because, viewers, we are testing a lot more. So when you test a lot more, you will discover newer cases. Before that, you were blind. You didn't know how many cases there were there. But there are clear indicators, viewers, clear indicators that tell you that when you see this kind of curve, it tells you very little about what is actually going on in the fight, in the battle against Corona. Now let me break it down for you. Viewers, there are 4 indices that you have to very closely pay attention to. The first one is the test recovery rate. We're going to show that graphic to you. This test recovery rate, which is the biggest indicator, is very, very important, viewers. Now, this tells you that the number of people who are getting better, being cured of Corona, has risen since April, beginning of April, right up to now. It used to be at 7.66%. Now it's at 28.17%. Then, viewers, you have the test positivity rate. This is very crucial. This is crucial because it tells you when you test just how many of those tests come back positive. If India was being deluged by Corona, that number would have been very high. In fact, viewers, that number in April was 7.9. Today, it's 3.91%. And India has one of the lowest test positivity rates across the globe. There are many other examples of test positivity rates in different countries, like the United States, which are very, very high. Viewers, they almost extend into the lower 20%. That means whenever a significant number of people are tested, let's say 100, 26 will be positive. What does that tell you? That there are many more sick people suffering from Corona in the United States and not those many in India. This is a critical dynamic matrix that no one is looking at. It is a statistic which people will not tell you about. Today also, let me tell you, viewers, that the rate of reproduction, or R0, is very, very low. It is around 1.6, 1.5. At one point, this was much higher. It was +2. What is the rate of reproduction? It is the ability of the coronavirus to make another individual ill. One individual can infect how many? Is the R0. The R0 here is coming down, viewers. So obviously, our ability to transmit this infection is also coming down, and that's because of the lockdown. On the other hand, viewers, as I told you, the positivity rate is also under control. There's another statistic, which is the doubling rate. India's doubling rate of cases has come down significantly. In some states, it is now between 11 to 20 days, viewers. And those are the states: Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Orissa, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Punjab. It's coming down constantly. In other cases, it is even lesser, 20 to 40 days. Karnataka, Ladakh, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Kerala. And the list goes on and on and on, viewers. So this is really significant, and it is a number that you must look at. In some, it's 40 days and above, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Assam and Himachal. And this is really what is giving us so much heart. Now, this lockdown is having other incidental benefits also, viewers. The pollution rates are coming down. So what are we seeing, viewers? We are being able to see things that we did not see earlier. And I just want you to see those pictures that have been put out. Nizam Bhai will put them out of pictures of Mount Everest that were visible from villages in Bihar. And what we can also tell you is that earlier in April in Saharanpur, the Himalayas also became very clearly visible. Nizam Bhai, do we have those pictures? If we don't, we can move on. We can show our viewers. Okay, we don't have them. Unfortunately, viewers, something that I really wanted to show you, I can't tonight, but we will in just a few moments at the end of this show leave you with those images. Let me move on, viewers, because there is a massive controversy that is raging across the length and breadth of this country. And that controversy is over now, evacuation plans. So, viewers, this is very, very interesting. India is embarking upon an evacuation plan which is monumental in nature. Only the second largest evacuation plan is being attempted. 13 nations, 64 flights, 3 warships. We are going to bring back all our stranded Indians who are at this moment abroad. They will all be brought back, viewers. For the first time, you have the details on your screens. I want to open this out. Madhav Das, Gopala Krishnan and Nikunj Garg are with us. Nikunj, the details are with you, of course. Srinjoy Chaudhary also, who broke the schedule of this particular evacuation, is also with us. Nikunj, first, let's just talk a little bit about the fares, which are exciting so much commentary. There's a controversy brewing around it. Many people are saying, why couldn't these be free? What are the rates? How did they establish these rates? They look overinflated. What happens to Indians, NRIs, OCIs who are stranded abroad, who come back here? Do they go straight into quarantine? Will they be tested? All these details with Nikunj, Madhav and Srinjoy today. Nikunj, first to you about the fares. Very critical.
Well, absolutely, Rahul, and the thinking in the government is absolutely crystal clear. And I have known it for some time, but then one had to wait for official orders to be issued. Whatever help the government of India can marshal, whatever resource that government of India can pool, will all be put at the disposal of the state governments or the nodal officers for the migration plan of the migrant labor. Remember, the migrant labor's numbers are in lakhs, so the resource required for their safe movement is also humongous. But whatever the government can marshal would be first placed at their disposal, and each and every other individual who is certainly better off than the poor, the bottom of the pyramid migrant laborers, can certainly have a much better paying capacity, will have to pay. Even in that, the caveat remains that anybody under duress, in a distress situation, not having resourceless, will be also evacuated. So it is not as if you can't pay the fare, we leave you outside. The government will come to your rescue, but overarchingly the concept is everything for the migrant laborers first, and then for the people who have the paying capacity need to pay. One more aspect I need to add, Rahul. This is an extremely critical aspect, that this is not just an evacuation for Indians stranded abroad by air or by sea. There's a 3-way evacuation plan here. India's land borders, which have also been sealed for now close to 1.5 months, land borders with Pakistan, with Sri Lanka, with Bhutan, with Nepal and other countries, they have also been opened. So the ingress of people who are stuck in neighborhood countries through land borders will also begin. This SOP talks of them. More critically, people, NRIs or OCI card holders who are stuck in India for various reasons, long-term visa holders, we can also board these flights, which will be outward flights, and from there on their destination flights. So this is a 3-way evacuation plan. It is not just a plan for evacuating stranded Indians abroad.
Okay, very, very important. Caveats have been added, but I just want to quickly take you through, viewers, some of the fares before I bring in Srinjoy and Madhav. Let's have a look at the fares. That's it on your screen. Dubai to Chennai, Departure 1305. Let's hold that, please. If you can hold it, Nizam Bhai. I have to read off the screen. It's not going to be easy. 15,000 rupees. Dubai to Chennai, Bahrain to Cochin, 17,000. Dubai to Chennai, 15,000. Newark to Mumbai. That's almost a lakh, viewers. That is how much it will cost. Kuala Lumpur to Mumbai will be 20,000. Kuwait to Hyderabad, 20,000. Singapore to Ahmedabad, 20,000. London to Bengaluru, 20,000. Let's go to the next plate. Let's have a look. That's the day 2. Day 3. On May 9th, that is, the flights will run from Sharjah to Lucknow, 15,000 rupees. Kuala Lumpur to Trichy, 15,000. Dubai to Chennai, 15,000. Kuwait to Cochin, 19,000. Chicago to Mumbai, once again, a 1 lakh ticket. There you can see it. Let's move on to day 4. There, the flights, Doha to Trivandrum, 17,000. Kuala Lumpur to Cochin, 15,000. Kuwait to Chennai, also 15,000. Then there's one for 19,000. Singapore to Trichy. London to Mumbai, 50,000. Dhaka to Delhi, 12,000. And Abu Dhabi to Hyderabad, 15,000. And once again, you have Washington to Delhi, which is 1 lakh. So that's a big number back there. Also, of course, viewers, on day 5, remember, it's a whole week roster, and it'll keep coming up on the screens. Bahrain to Kochi, 17,000. Kuala Lumpur to Chennai, 14,000, and so forth. You can see them. We've also tweeted them. You can go onto our website. You can also go onto our Twitter handle, and you can get these details. Srinjoy, how did they first arrive at these fares? Are these discounted fares? What's the maths?
Well, it's something that the government has worked out. It has to be remembered, Rahul, that there is social distancing. These planes will not be full up. There will be gaps between seats. So what we have heard from sources in the government, our sources just now, is that they are competitive rates at this point. Things being as difficult as they are being considered competitive. You could argue that they may be a little on the high side in some cases. Chicago, Delhi, 1 lakh being a case in point, one way. But these are considered competitive primarily because the plane cannot be full up. There would have to be seats in between passengers, keeping in mind social distancing. Also, Rahul, it has to be mentioned that everybody cannot be brought back. Only those who have compelling reasons. If you're a laid-off migrant worker, if you're a person without a visa, if there's a medical emergency, if a woman is
coming in on
pregnant.
this, the Congress party releasing a statement. I think the Congress party releasing a statement saying that the central government's decision to impose excessive costs on NRIs flying in special flights from COVID-affected countries, the Inhumane Act, it was due to protest by a large number of expatriates and their relatives as well as the general public. Over the few days, the central government has taken decision to bring back our citizens from abroad. Those who are most in trouble now have come forward to fly in special aircraft accordance with government's directives to return home somehow. However, it is cruel that the central government has taken advantage of this plight of expatriates by increasing the price of airfares by up to 3 times. So this is very, very big. Calls the tickets for NRIs inhumane. Now, Madhav, this was not unanticipated. The Congress party, the opposition have all been itching to take a pot shot at the government over both the Shramik Expresses that they were running, and now it seems for repatriating NRIs and other categories of Indians who are working in the Gulf, etc., and further afield, saying that you're extorting them. So let's just go back. Of course, we can put out those details in the grid, but let's just keep the ticket fares on your screen. These ticket fares, Madhav, are high. They are high. Many people will say that, look, we won't want to get fleeced. These are one-way tickets.
Well, Rahul, I can tell you I've traveled from Kerala to Dubai in the past, and I think I paid around 7,000 rupees just about 3 years ago when I was traveling. The fact is that these are high for a reason, and the reason is this, that they will be flying, or at least when this program was being formulated, were expected to fly one way completely empty. Now NRIs have been allowed to fly in them, but they will not be occupying the entire aircraft. Also, as Srinjoy was saying, that there will be social distancing norms which would be put into place, which really means that about 33% of the seats would be completely vacant. So the aircraft would only be flying at around 66% of the capacity, provided that they are allowed contiguous rows, which also, of course, there has been a lot of back and forth between various ministries, including the Health and the Civil Aviation Ministry, over the particular norms which would be followed by the particular airlines. So there are several such aspects which would have to be considered. The government says that what it is doing right now is at competitive rates, as Srinjoy was telling us, but there's no surprises that KC Venugopal is coming and saying this, because earlier this evening we've even seen the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan come out to say that they had put in a demand of about 170,000 residents of or citizens of Kerala to be brought back from abroad, but the government has only agreed for 80,000. So we can expect a lot more in terms of the pricing politics, in terms of the numbers of people who have to be brought back, because while the government says it's following certain norms, those who've lost their jobs, those whose visas have expired, those who are senior citizens, pregnant women and several others with health conditions, only certain individuals and categories of individuals are being brought back. One can certainly expect that the politics isn't going to end anytime soon.
Okay, Nikunj, are we going to see any perhaps rollbacks in this fare list? Because in the past we have seen the government saying, okay, then, we'll foot a part of this bill, etc., etc. Are you likely to see any reversals in this? What are you hearing?
Well, Rahul, not an overarching reversal, but for sure there can be some concessions, as I've been saying right from yesterday, that it is not as if you are dispossessed, if you do not have resources, you will not be brought back. So on that part, the criticism of the government is unfair. On the fare side particularly, as Madhav said, that initially when the plans were being worked out, aircrafts were supposed to fly completely vacant from India, outward bound. But now that the government has also, as I said, it's a three-way evacuation plan now. Now they have allowed the NRIs and other long-term visa holders who are stuck in India to travel through these flights. The prices can certainly come down.
Okay, well, I'm just getting some inputs now coming in from the Aviation Ministry. Sources there is saying that, and I have to go straight across to Hina Gambhir on this, we are being told that the reason the Ministry of Civil Aviation has not decided to give rebates is because they say that we cannot use taxpayers' money for this. This is now obviously in respect to the operation being done by Air India. Ministry of Civil Aviation already has to go to Ministry of Finance to get 500 to 600 crores per month to run, and this should be an additional cost. It will be an additional burden. So that makes some degree of sense. Madhav, very quickly your input on this.
Well, yes, this is what the Union Minister had mentioned today, Rahul, during the course of the press conference. They had very clearly come out and said that, yes, already, in fact, for running Air India and for various other purposes, there are several hundred crores that are required. And now it's such a situation, they are not going to get into a situation where they require more money from the government. And that's why they're charging this amount. They're not going to allow for it to be free. And also, of course, the overarching logic that the government had put out, even during rail travel, that they do not want to make it completely free, because they have to be some kind of restraint, and only those who really require this travel. For instance, a 14-day compulsory quarantine is also in place, and that is a paid quarantine which will have to be done mandatorily by those who are coming back into the country, and that too has had its impact as far as those who want to come back.
I'm also being told, and these are inputs by Srinjoy Chaudhary putting these inputs before I wrap out of this and move on, that about 10,000 Indians outside the country have tested positive, 84 are dead, and that's why no chances will be taken. All flights are scheduled, commercial flights, they have to be negative. All the passengers have to be negative to board the flight. That's what we are being told. There will be thermal scanning for all passengers. Srinjoy is giving these inputs. Universal quarantine for all returnees. State government to organize hotels to be used. In future, Indians stuck in Nepal also will be allowed to come in, as land border will be opened. That's exactly what Nikunj was also saying, that SAARC country land borders will be open. More countries will be added next week to this list, and Indian citizens in Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will also be evacuated, viewers. So this is going to be a massive, massive operation. We move on now, viewers. We move on to another very, very big. We move slightly away from the corona stories to a massive controversy. Now, you know, viewers, that over the last 3 or 4 days, there have been horrible attacks in Kashmir on our forces. Yes, really. Malevolent attacks by Pakistani-sponsored terrorists. And our braves are sacrificing their lives to keep India safe, to ensure, viewers, that our precious freedoms, yours and mine, are guaranteed and remain so. That there are individuals who are sacrificing on a daily basis, fighting the enemy. But viewers, we've had a strange situation today where the putative leader of the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, has come out and lauded the Pulitzer Prize committee for awarding 3 Indian photojournalists. Now viewers, nothing wrong in that. Unfortunately, however, he should have been careful because he should have been reading the citation that went along with the reward. Now this is what the citation says, and let me read it out to you. The prize is awarded to Channi Anand, Mukhtar Khan and Dar Yassin of Associated Press. Associated Press, of course, is an American media company. For what? For striking images of life in the contested territory of Kashmir. Now I'm going to show you some of those pictures. This is what the citation says. The prize is awarded to Channi Anand, Mukhtar Khan and Dar Yassin of Associated Press for striking images of life in the contested territory of Kashmir. Contested territory. So Pulitzer Committee in its citation says that Kashmir is a contested territory. As India revoked its independence, executed through a communications blackout. Now viewers, a top leader of the opposition who wants to be Prime Minister endorses the view that Kashmir is a contested territory and that India has revoked its independence, executed through a communications blackout. Now I'm not getting personal here, viewers. But when you, as the leader of India's #1 opposition party, pan-national outfit, a party that has fought or been associated with the struggle for independence, comes out and says and legitimizes propaganda to suggest that Kashmir is contested and that Indian government revoked its independence, executed through a communications blackout, then you're exposing yourself, viewers. And it's not the first time, because let me tell you why there is a problem with this statement. And let's go step by step. What Rahul Gandhi said, congratulations to journos for winning Pulitzer. What he ignored was the Pulitzer board called Jammu and Kashmir contested territory. Now viewers, no sane Indian will ever admit that Kashmir is contested. Kashmir, through the instrument of accession, is ours. The entire Kashmir, even that part that has been illegally occupied by Pakistan today. Nothing contested about Kashmir. It is ours. And dare anyone tell us that it isn't. In fact, these photojournalists should have not accepted this prize with the citation. And Rahul Gandhi should have been careful. The Congress party still hasn't come out and issued a clarification on this. Why? Does the Congress believe that Jammu and Kashmir is contested, especially Kashmir? Does it believe that the valley has been appropriated by India? Remember, it was the Pakistanis who did it, viewers. This is shocking. Rahul also said that powerful images of life in Jammu and Kashmir have been captured by these photojournalists. But these images that have been captured show manic assaults on India's troops. And I'll show you the photograph. Azadi slogans are being glorified. Pakistani flags are being dismissed as signs of an indigenous struggle. Look at this. Pakistan-sponsored Pelter is being hailed, and what is he doing? He's attacking our braves, our army men, our security forces. Taking photos like these might be overwhelming the Pulitzer Committee, viewers. It certainly doesn't overwhelm Indians. These are acts of cowardice. This is active sabotage. And I want to open this out because we need to ask some very basic questions today. And I want to first begin with Congress supporter and political analyst Tehseen Poonawalla, who's also close, of course, to the family that runs the Congress party. Tehseen Poonawalla, small question to you. As an Indian, do you endorse this citation, sir? Striking images of life in the contested territory of Kashmir as India revoked its independence, executed through a communications blackout. Do you, Tehseen Poonawalla, as a patriotic Indian, endorse this citation?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And like a true liberal journalist that you are, as inconvenient as my argument may be, I'm sure you will allow me to make my argument. So I start my argument. You started with precious freedom that are guaranteed to us, and our armed forces lay down their lives for it, which is absolutely true, and we salute these martyrs. And Rahul Gandhi is the son and grandson of two martyrs who've laid down their life for this country. But that's not the argument. The argument here is about Kashmir. Nobody on this panel disputes Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. Nobody disputes it. However, what is being disputed, and you must ask the BJP spokesperson Nalin Ji, is while 56-inch Mr. Narendra Modi Ji is in power, for the first time in 70 years, China is inside POK building their road and everywhere in our territory. Now, I have specific questions. Please do not interrupt me. I'll take 30 seconds. Tariq Ahmed Mir, recently arrested by the Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists, recently arrested by the NIA. On a BJP ticket, he won. Dhruv Saxena, ISI spy, BJP agent. Balram Singh of the Bajrang Dal, recently arrested by NIA, BJP Bajrang Dal leader. Mohammad Farooq Khan, once again with the Mujahideen, BJP leader, contested the civil polls. Aarti Tikku is here, she will know about it. Masood Azhar dropped business class in an aeroplane, no fares charged. By who? By the great Ajit Doval, BJP. And Masood Azhar trained this chap, Mohammad Farooq Khan, who contested on a BJP ticket. Pathankot ISI was allowed to come and investigate, and our Prime Minister went to Pakistan without an investigation. I asked you, Rahul Gandhi congratulated somebody. Please, you have the right to criticize him. That's your freedom. But the BJP is associated with terrorists. Will you have a debate on the BJP? Will you have a debate on the BJP? Or is journalism that what the government does not want to hear?
Look,
Isn't that what journalism is, sir?
Look, you can change, one second. You can change the goalposts every night here on national TV. But you can't, unfortunately, end up scoring an own goal in the process. That is what today the Congress party has done.
How,
they
sir?
changed the goalpost in such a way that they forgot which side they have to shoot the goal. And they ended up scoring a massive own goal. It's a self-goal. Now, you and I can sit here and we can create excuses for Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party. We can say that yes, the BJP has done it, and the Chinese are in our country and they're doing this and we're doing that, and Modi is not doing anything. That's your prerogative, but you can't run away from this massive own goal. Dr. Ranganathan is here with us.
Is it not factual?
What is not factual? We lost a war to China, sir.
Did the Chinese construct?
Have you forgotten that? And who sent our troops out there, underprepared, underclad, underarmed, to face an adversary that everyone was telling Nehru about, warning Nehru against for years altogether? Who went to the United Nations?
Please allow me.
One second. I'm not getting into this because you see, we don't want to get back to 48. We don't want to make the same mistakes we made in the past. So let's look to the future. So one second, Mr. Poonawalla, let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. You had your say. We'll come back to you. No problems.
Is that your argument? Is that your
argument? Have I said that?
No.
Have I said that? Have I said that? No. Don't make facetious arguments sitting on national TV. People are watching you. They have a sense of history. Maybe you don't. You know that roads are not built in a day. You know that the crises that we have had with China have not begun today. They began in the great past, decades ago, under a lot of Congress governments. So let's not get into this, silly nitpicking. I'm only asking you, as a patriotic Indian, what your view is, as a person who's a member of the Gandhi family, if you endorse this citation, if you don't have it in you to tell me in clear terms that you endorse or you don't endorse this citation, then, sir, I can't help you. But one second, let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. I don't want to make this about personalities. I don't want to make this about people because, There are individuals who will say, oh, we have an agenda, we have this. We don't. We're just asking a simple question. And I want to come out to you, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, your view.
Yeah, good evening, Rahul. Thanks very much for having me. You know, I agree with you that if I was one of those photographers and if I felt that I'm Indian, given that citation and the nature of that citation, I would have not accepted this award, or at least asked them to change the citation. But to be honest, I don't find anything wrong in Rahul Gandhi congratulating the three photographers for winning the Pulitzer. Whatever be the ideological inclination of these photographers, and whatever be the ideological inclination of the Pulitzer committee, of the latter, we have a better idea, to be honest. Given the wording of the award citation, as you've said, that calls Kashmir a contested territory whose independence was revoked by India. So obviously, these turnips are clueless of reality. But here, with your permission, can I please pose a philosophical conundrum? Should you read the writer or his writing, the artist or his art? Art is subjective, and its appreciation more so. Hemingway was a chauvinist, Naipaul a wife-beater, Gunter Grass an SS stormtrooper. Should we stop reading their works? So do those Pulitzer-winning photos tell a balanced, objective story? In my opinion, no. But is there a praiseworthy quality to them? In my opinion, yes. You know, from Robert Capa to Bresson to Brooke White, every great photojournalist's work has at times bordered on propaganda. But does that take away the ethereal beauty from their work? Second, please give me 20 seconds about the award itself. That too is subjective. And why stop at Pulitzer? Let's talk of our own Padmas. When journalists who peddle fake news or military coups or broker cabinet berths with lobbyists can get Padma Award, what does it tell you about those journalists or the awards? Honestly speaking, I apply the Blackstone ratio to awards. Not saying that people who get awards aren't deserving, but there are always 10 guys more deserving who never get the award.
Okay. Beautiful lines, great sentiments, philosophical. You know, you win the Socratic prize for argument. But this is the real world, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. I just want to ask you this question. Very simply this. Very simply this. As a leader sworn to serve the Indian Constitution, as a member of Parliament, as an individual who has championed the unalienable rights of India over the entire territory of Jammu and Kashmir, do you think it was right of Rahul Gandhi to have entered this debate at all without compromising his party's stand on this particular issue? It's a very simple question. It's not about individual freedoms, it's about perceptions, and they matter in politics. They are very, very important, optics and perceptions. Symbolism, everything that we cherish in identifying ourselves with a cause, all these matter in politics. So I'm asking you very simply this.
Yeah, I think Rahul Gandhi, I mean, you know, I don't know whether he does truly appreciate the art or the photographs, or he knew personally those photographers. But as I said, personally, I think we're looking too deep into it. I don't find anything wrong in him congratulating. He might have put another rider. Maybe he will thread another tweet saying that I disagree with the citation. If I was Rahul Gandhi, oh my God. But if I was Rahul Gandhi, I would have said that despite disagreeing vociferously with the citation, I congratulate these three photographers for their wonderful work.
Okay. Since we are talking about journalists here and awards, I want to bring in Aarti Tikku Singh, and I'll come to you, Nalin Kohli, just in a short while. I don't want to make this political. Let's have a look at it from the lens of a journalist who has covered Jammu and Kashmir. Aarti Tikku, what's your view?
Thank you, Rahul, for having me here today. Well, my beef with Pulitzer Prize for this year is that the board has taken a political stance over Kashmir, which means that the board has taken the position that the Pakistan government has on Jammu and Kashmir. So therefore, I don't see this award as a neutral award. My criticism of this award is actually not a criticism of the three photojournalists who've gotten the award. I actually agree with Anand that I actually have no doubt that the 3 photojournalists are competent. I have worked with one of them, Charni Anand. He's a very good photojournalist, and I have seen their work, and they are quite competent and deserving of awards. But my problem is with the citation, my problem is with the fact that so far in the last 30 years, there have been so many severe, so many profound pictures that have come out of Kashmir, or for that matter, for example, pictures that came out of Mumbai terror attacks in 2008. There were so many pictures which could have gone to any of these, big institutions for awards, but none of them made it. But this is for the first time that 3 photojournalists from Jammu and Kashmir have made it to Pulitzer, and one must ask why. Now, people are going to say that this is whataboutery, but I believe that some whataboutery is important, because you must ask moral questions about all these awards and all these boards who determine these awards. And my assessment is that Pulitzer Award for this year is not only partisan as far as J&K is concerned, it's also partisan in terms of the award that has gone to the best commentary, which is the New York project, which is about the history of American slaves. That aside, I really feel that this is a
so for you, the award citation is peddling the propaganda put out by Pakistan. It is partisan. It is not objective in any which capacity, and therefore this particular award is questionable. Okay, I think that's the sum and substance of it. Nalin Kohli, please come in here, because questions will be asked of individuals, especially those in the BJP who have taken on Mr. Rahul Gandhi to say that you're intolerant to another point of view.
Well, then what's the difference between those who say Bharat ke tukde kar denge, which is called the Tukde Tukde gang, or say ab chal hum sharminda hain, tere qatil zinda hai. So, I mean, that's also a point of view. So, Rahul, if you'll just hold on for a second, I think I'm getting back my audio. So maybe perhaps you may take me after a minute.
Yeah, we're okay. I think we're okay. Okay. Let me bring in Sanjay Hegde. Sanjay Hegde, do you agree with the citation? Do you think that a partisan hand is being played here, and that Rahul Gandhi has gone ahead and endorsed it?
Okay, what writes the citation? We have, as a country in the past, we gave I think the Jawaharlal Nehru Award to Yasser Arafat. Israel didn't at that stage object. Any award committee writes whatever. Congratulations, you got award.
Okay, we're losing Sanjay Hegde, unfortunately. Let me try with Mr. Shukla. Mr. Shukla, the same question goes out to you.
Listen, Rahul, I think that there are 2 big issues that need to be sort of clarified here. The first issue is when you're asking, is India or is any Indian going to accept that Kashmir is a contested territory? And the answer to that is that every Indian government from 1947 till today has accepted that Kashmir is contested territory. There have been numerous talks over Kashmir. There has been a structured dialogue in which Kashmir was one of the issues. So that Kashmir is a contested territory is not a question at all. It has been accepted by every single Indian government. The other point is that you're only seeming to be looking at the territory that Pakistan claims, which is in India's sort of hands, which is the valley. What about the territory that Pakistan holds, the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and the northern areas? Are you saying that is not contested territory? Has India rescinded its claims to those territories? No, it has not. So just like India has accepted that the valley is contested territory, that is also contested territory, the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and the northern areas.
There is a bit of nuance that is lost on you. The talks are about vacating an aggression, an illegal occupation of parts of Kashmir using means which were not above board, violating, sir, standstill agreements.
Rahul,
And the talks are exclusively, no, 1 second, the talks are exclusively about vacating an aggression. Even in the United Nations, it is really about vacating an aggression committed by Pakistan using underhand means.
Rahul, that is
So
the
yes,
Indian
it is contested.
point.
It is contested
That
because
is the
India
Indian
wants what it
point
is
because
back.
There is an alternative
Rahul,
viewpoint with Pakistan that makes it contested territory. Secondly, and most importantly, what
I'm
everybody
only
seems to
asking
be
a
forgetting-
question. I'm only asking a
Rahul-
question, sir. You can say that it is contested, you can agree, you can say, fine,
I
it
am
is contested,
agreeing.
but should, and I want to ask you this question, should today, should today Rahul Gandhi be giving, if you allow me, sir, should Rahul Gandhi be giving legitimacy to obvious propaganda that reads in the following manner? Striking images of life in the contested territory of Kashmir as India revoked its independence, executed through a communications blackout. Now this is being given legitimacy. And Nalin Kohli wants to respond on this. Yes, Mr. Kohli.
Some fundamentals clear. No matter what anyone's point of view is, India has always held the instrument of accession as final. There is no government from 1947 onwards till date that ever has treated it as a dispute in the sense of the accession instrument. It's final, so it is an integral part of India. That there has been an aggression and territories of India are held by Pakistan is something that the Parliament has reaffirmed through a resolution that every inch belongs to India. Of that, Congress party has been part and parcel of it because it's unanimous. Now, Rahul Gandhi, not just as leader of the Congress party, essentially as a member of Parliament to take the oath of the Indian Constitution, is bound by that oath of the Constitution not to take a line that goes contrary to India's sovereign, because India is, after all, a sovereign country. Now, let's take each thing further. When the military word comes in, independence, which means contested, as Rahul is defining it, in terms of Gilgit, Baluchistan, Gilgit, and the areas that are with Pakistan, in that context, there may be talk. But
And let me tell you, Mr. Kohli, there is another bigger problem. And the problem is in the visuals themselves. What is being waved on the soil of, on the soil of Kashmir? Pakistani flags. Pictures of those flags are today being hailed as a work of art by the leader, the putative leader of the Congress party. Now, Mr. Hegre, there are also references to Indian-controlled Kashmir. Do we have a doubt about who controls Kashmir? Indian-controlled Kashmir, as if India is some occupying force in Kashmir. I don't think any Indian government, whether it is a Congress government of the past or perhaps even one in the future, will concede this. If Rahul Gandhi thinks that that is a concession that is worthy of being made, then the Congress party should come out and tell us. The view is India-controlled Kashmir. How is India controlling Kashmir? Are we doing it through an occupation? Mr. Hegre, do you believe so? Does Rahul Gandhi perhaps endorse this?
Listen. I don't believe so that India is controlling Kashmir. Kashmir is an integral part of India. That has always been. But you also must accept that
So then come back to the question I've asked you. Should Rahul Gandhi, he might be a connoisseur of the high arts, but he knows that this is a very delicate situation. So I'm asking you a very simple, straightforward question. Should Rahul Gandhi be endorsing statements, photographs of protests which use the term Indian-controlled Kashmir? Should he be lauding photographs of Pakistani flags being waved on Indian soil? Very straightforward question.
Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, if you say Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, then you necessarily imply that there is a portion which Pakistan occupies, there's a portion that India controls. Now, each word in some award citation, you can't parse it like that, like a legal document. If you parse it like a legal document, there are legal answers.
I see. Then why are we upset? Then why do we reject terminology? No. Then why do we reject the terminology Azad Kashmir? If we shouldn't be analyzing words at all, then why don't we legitimize what Pakistan says? They call POK Azad Kashmir, then let's call it Azad Kashmir. Why should we be bothered?
Is there not a contest about Pakistan, about Kashmir's status?
Mr. Hegde, you know that this is a faux pas. Come on now. You know this is a faux pas. Indian controlled Kashmir.
There is a contest about Kashmir in the Supreme Court even as we speak.
Okay.
Do you say no?
Okay.
Listen, the question is...
Okay, so Indian controlled Kashmir is legitimate for you, Mr. Hegde, legitimate for the others on this panel like Tehseen Poonawala. Fair enough. I mean, you know, you're entitled to your views. There is freedom of expression and speech. But viewers...
There is...
Yeah, make your point.
The Nishan-e-Pakistan, did the Indian government or the BJP at that time object? It was given by General Ziaul Haq. Basically, because Mr. Desai did not object to Bhutto's hanging. He was a former prime minister. He got the highest civilian award from Pakistan. Whatever somebody gets an award, how you deal with it, you say, okay, congratulations to someone, or you ignore it. You can't read anything further into it.
Okay, Mr. Hegde, these are views that you hold on to. I am no one to divest you of these views. In my book, if anyone tries to legitimize the term Indian controlled Kashmir, it is problematic. I don't think any Indian government will ever admit that India is in any way an occupying force in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And if the Congress believes that patriots helmed it, then I'm sure those patriots today must be very worried. Because when you legitimize propaganda like this and you're in a position of great authority, then there's a problem, viewers. There's a problem.